This is the diversity and evolution of wolves. Wolves are part of the Canidae family along with coyotes and dogs. The main changes in evolution were the results of domestication. Most research shows that dogs are the result of this from wolves. While the overall body shape of the wolf hasn't changed significantly over time, their size has greatly increased to have a higher chance of survival in forest environments and when going up against prey. However, over time it's been seen that they have developed 2 layers of fur, a longer and a shorter layer, to keep warm, and their toes spread when walking on snow so as not to sink into it. As read in the journal article by Case et al. 2010, as the size of the actual wolf increased, so did their skull sizes. It's also seen by Kaminsky et al. 2019 that through domestication, facial muscles have altered. This includes current domesticated dogs having more expressive eyebrow movements. This allows dogs' eyes to appear larger than a wolf's eyes. As we can see in this figure from the article by Kaminsky et al. 2019, which shows the main differences in muscular tissues of both dogs and wolves' faces. Dogs have developed additional muscles over time. This is what allows them to have more exaggerated facial movements and expressions. This figure also shows us the slope of a dog's snout in comparison to the wolf's flattened head. We can see that the wolf's mouth is longer, allowing it to consume prey better, and it also contains sharper teeth, which we aren't able to see in this figure. Domesticated dogs have no need for this feature as they're not hunting for their food. More physical attributes include wolves having longer legs, which allows them to move more quickly and easily in different weather conditions, says Burroughs et al. 2017.
As varying breeds of wolf can be found across the world, the different breeds have different preferences for their terrain suitability within their habitats. However, across all species of wolves, Gwen V. and Simonix E. 2022 identified that they all share the same principles of characteristics required to ensure their range is suitable to their needs. These include aspects such as the span of available land, potential prey populations, and the proximity of closeness to human developments. Throughout time, wolf populations' density and ranges have fluctuated heavily. This can be attributed to varying influencing factors, with one of the major influences being humans. Through their conducted studies, Wolf C. and Ripple J.A. 2017 were able to identify that in areas with high human populations, more contractions of ranges of wolf territory were highly noted. This was recognised to be due to factors such as hunting, including targeting the wolves as well as their prey, which would cause the wolves to move further away to follow their prey. They were also able to identify that an animal's regional range is typically linked to their overall extinction risk, thus the tracking of their individual populations is essential. However, as Aspie J. et al. 2006 reflects in their research, conversely, humans have also influenced wolf ranges positively by implementing conservation work strategies to help aid increasing the population numbers, which allowed for wolves to continue expanding their grounds.
The grey wolf is the most prevalent species of wolf existing. The subspecies of the grey wolf have undergone thousands of years of natural selection to capacitate them to their differing climates, habitats and prey. According to Alan Asford-Joel in 1877, species that live in colder areas typically have smaller external features, such as limbs, ears and muzzles. This is to limit the loss of heat from their bodies. Applying this to the selected species of wolves, it's clear that Arabian wolves have adapted by having larger ears and longer limbs to expel heat from their bodies in the desert conditions they must endure, whereas the Arctic wolf comparably has shorter ears, legs and muzzles. Bergman Carl in 1847 suggests that in warmer climates, species are seen to have smaller bodies and larger bodies in cooler conditions. This thesis explains the larger body size of the Arctic wolf compared to the Arabian wolf with the slim build. Larger bodies have smaller surface area in ratio to the volume, allowing heat to be conserved better. Opposingly, the smaller surface area effectively aids the wolf releasing heat. Canis lupus was first believed to have originated from Siberia and later migrated to Europe and North America, said Bergstorm in 2022. There is complicated links between wolves and the modern-day dog, and debates about when dogs were first domesticated. Although it still stands unclear, there is evidence to suggest it was about 30,000 years ago that a currently extinct population of grey wolves began to domesticate. Through genetic studies, clues have arisen that every modern-day dog has descended from this ancestor, says Spence in 2019. Dogs are the first domesticated taxa, and there are multiple theories as to how they were domesticated. Some are discussed by Tancredi and Cardinelli in 2023, one of which is that the grey wolf was attracted to the human-generated waste. The wolves used this as a new source of food, typically the wolves that showed less fear of the human species. Another theory is that the wolves were captured and bred by the human colonies, and pups were nurtured by humans from birth, allowing for a bond to be established. Humans selected wolves that had less fear and had a calmer demeanour, then they bred them together. Overall, the domestication occurred over a long period of time and most likely originated from the wolves benefiting from living in proximity with the humans.
As humans have expanded their developments closer towards wolves' territories, this is providing opportunities for interbreeding between wolves and domestic dogs to occur. Within their research article, Pilot M et al. 2021 discusses the impact these mixes have on components of the offsprings. They identified that for the dogs, it linked to positive impacts of hybridization, whereas in comparison, for the wolves inheriting genetic components from dogs, it had negative effects due to increasingly losing their ability for adaptation, which is crucial for the wolf species. As dogs have been bred with the human influence, in comparison to wolves' wild and natural reproductions, the potential genes being inherited may be from dogs adapting to coexisting with humans, therefore putting the offsprings who will grow in the wild at a disadvantage as they will not be within those environments. Although the author did reflect that there are slight positives of the hybrids for wolves, such as inheriting genes which beneficially alter the immune system, which proves to be useful regarding infection diseases. Studies conducted by Cereba C et al. 2025 further support these, as they concluded that within wolf and dog hybrids, genes were discovered that aid the function of the immune system as well as the brain. However, the authors emphasise that the full impact on the evolutionary process this has for the wild wolves is not understood, and explain they more commonly found negative effects of the mixed breeds, including eventually leading to potential extinction if the breeding populations are small, limiting the selection for animals to reproduce within their immediate species. This is especially of concern regarding the red wolf, who is interbreeding with coyotes. Wolves are prevalently known for being social species who live in well-constructed packs. Through a study conducted regarding the wolves who live within Yellowstone National Park, Starla D.R. and Cassidy K.A. 2025 were able to discover more information about the intricacies of social interactions within a pack. Through the understanding that within the park, new packs are formed through groups of wolves of the same sex building together, in comparison to a new pack beginning from a pair, which is usually common with wolves. This study also showed insight into how the wolf society remains stable through the wolves each having their own role and providing assistance throughout varying aspects, such as hunting prey through highly organised and strategic techniques, as well as assisting raising the pups to continue the lineage. Although every wolf proves beneficial to the overall dynamic of the group, the dominant pair will oversee all the other wolves to help ensure the operations continue to remain well functioning. The hierarchy within the wolf pack dynamic is complex, with varying factors playing an important role. Cavazzo S. et al. 2016 discusses the significance of aspects such as gender and age in determining this. They explain the findings of older wolves demonstrating dominance over younger pups, with no identifiable link that gender influences this aspect. However, within older wolves, it was demonstrated that same-sex pairings showed more dominance attempts than between males and females. Overall, Kochatskev VV 2024 emphasises the dominant pair works to oversee the pack then works to raise the pups and cooperate to complete tasks, whilst the general population of wolves work to preserve the sustainability within their environments.
Wolves' main prey includes different types of deer, elk, moose, rabbit, smaller rodents, and fish. First species of wolves, including the grey wolf, also preyed on the same animals, so we can see that there was no major reason over time for their diet to switch. While wolves are known for being strong hunters, sometimes they also need to scavenge their food. This is mostly when food is scarce, such as in winter months when prey is in hibernation or traveled elsewhere. Wolves are also very good at adapting to different circumstances. They have a wide range of prey and great senses, so they can also hunt well in the nighttime. Being strong hunters as well as being able to survive in harsh climates allows them to continually thrive against their prey that isn't adapted to these conditions. Less uncommonly, they also eat berries and nuts when they can. We can see in the figure in a study done to see if wolves and dogs will go for a specific type of food first in their journal by Rao et al. 2018 that both species are about the same as far as foods that they eat. Domestication didn't have much effect on that. However, dogs were seen to have bigger proportions of dry foods. Most dogs are fed dry kibbles, while wolves are only eating meat that was hunted. Although both species eat the same food, wolves are more built to eat them. Their sharp teeth as well as the number of prey in the wild influence them to only eat meat, whereas dogs aren't hunting and choosing their own meal. We can see that wolves consume more chick, meat, and sausage than dogs did. From our visit to Oxford Museum and observing various taxons, we were impelled to research the diversity and evolution of wolves, because we mutually agreed that their history that spans back to ancient times was fascinating. Furthermore, they hold value due to being the first known species to be domesticated.